Let's wrap ourselves around. Let's fucking smell the way angels should smell as we mix our musk together. Here in Sin City. So, it had been a minute since I've seen Sin City. And I remember watching Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, I think is the sequel.
Woof.
And being like, there's some kind of magic that's not here anymore. I don't know what it is, but I remember not liking that at all. It was kind of the same thing like when 300 made a sequel and you're like, ooh, the magic's kind of gone. Like, I've seen the trick, and it doesn't work as well now.
When you cast Temu Gerard Butler, it's,
yes.
It's not gonna work.
And we saw this in the theater in Muncie, and I remember people being fucking blown away. And I was familiar with Sin City. I had read one or two of the first volumes. Not like I'm like the fucking Sin City X, but I was aware of it, and I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. It's Frank Miller, right, who's a huge outsized personality and has godlike importance to comic book fans, right? When it came out, I didn't expect much. I was like, oh, it's Robert Rodriguez. It's got an incredible cast, right? The cast at the time, you're just like, they got everybody for this movie. And there was something about just the opening of it, right? It's just, the music's fucking cool. The black and white, Josh Hartnett, right, up there, talking to a dame. Right? They're kissing, and then he fucking shoots her, and you're like, oh, my God, like, this is fucking cool. This is what a cool movie is. Rewatching it now, many years older and in a different phase of my life, the best way I would sum up Sin City, besides it's still fun, I still like it, all that stuff.
Sure, yeah.
This is a movie that is born the way that coal gets crushed into a diamond. This is a movie that is formed by just the crushing weight of the most small dick energy you could ever gather in one spot, like the kind of critical mass of a black hole of small dick energy has crushed into this thing, and like, what would cool guys be like? And there's something so weird about just like really uncool guy energy, but Robert Rodriguez is kind of like thinks he's a super cool guy, and maybe is. I don't know. There's so much small dick energy in this though, and it's almost inescapable.
Yeah.
Rejoining this movie.
Sure. I'm not sure I see it as small dick energy. Like it is, I think here's the thing. Frank Miller, the non-DC, well, that's actually not true. It started out this way. But Frank Miller's always had like this sort of neoconservative streak in his work. I don't think we've ever necessarily, it's never been really addressed properly. But like, there's a little bit of crypto-fascism in here somewhere. The best way,
the way he wrote Batman, there's like, it's like, this is not kind of the fun, quirky, like billionaire fighting crime. Like, this guy wants to dominate and be a century executioner.
Frank Miller, this is the guy who after 9/11, he wrote a book that was going to be Batman Goes After the Taliban. With absolutely no provocation for like making it. He was just like, oh yeah, it's Batman going after Taliban. I'm like, doesn't seem great.
He turned on CNN that day and was like, cha-ching.
And DC was like, yeah, this is not going to work and you're not allowed to make it Batman. He goes, oh, okay, cool. So he rewrote it. If you want to go find it, it's a book called Holy Terror. And it's like, it's fucking terrible. Like, there's nothing, I don't own it. I read it in the bookstore. I read 5 pages. I'm like, this is exactly what I expected. This is garbage. This is bad. Sin City is, yes, like this level of like weird neoconservative.
But hold here. Hold real quick. Hold on one real quick. To finish setting up Frank Miller, though, we just made fun of Holy Terror, which we should. Like, later Frank Miller, to me, does not work a lot. He is, I mean, among the top 4 to 5 people you would mention first in comics.
Yes. Like, he is on the Mount Rushmore of comic books. But Mount Rushmore comic books is like 4 mountains at this point. But he's like...
Yeah. When that Dark Knight book hit...
It changed everything.
It like shattered
there
comics for a while.
should be some sort of...
It changed the way they wrote all comics for a while.
Well, there should be some sort of documentary about the year 1986 for comics because The Dark Knight Returns and Watchmen both came out the same year.
Yes, those two came out, and him and Alan Moore changed what that medium was forever. Like, gone were the days of the Stan Lee, like, you know, hey, True Believers, like all that kind of, like, that golden era stuff was like murdered by these kind of dark deconstruction versions. Yeah. They also both are oddly twinged with these noir flavors, right?
Yeah.
But it changed the game forever.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the best way to put it, is like they basically opened the floodgates for what became this sort of deconstructionist era of comics. Well, I mean, really, it's like a genre.
Well, it's kind of the kids who like grew up loving comics, or like now they're writing comics, right?
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
like that kind of a deal, and it like those books are so influential in the comic world. It's like impossible to fucking separate.
Right.
So Frank Miller, and then he also, Sin City and 300. He has tons of great.
Yeah. So
great
Sin City
work
came out. So Sin City started coming out in 91, and this was like, after Frank Miller kind of did The Dark Knight Returns, he was like, "What else do I have to prove to you guys?" And the answer was not much. So he started doing a lot of these, like he did Hard Boiled, I think, and then Sin City was the next thing in 91. Like, again, he was always this noir guy, and it was a big deal. I mean, look, I think the art in the book is it's very sad, because like I don't think the artwork he does now, like when he comes out and does a cover and stuff like that, it makes me a little sad. Sorry, I'm going to do like a Frank Miller riff here, but give me The Room. I do like get a little sad now when Frank Miller submits artwork and you're like, "Oh, we put out a new cover." I'm like, my kid could have done that. It's very, because again, he has such a very specific style, and like Sin City is probably the proliferation of that style. Like, it's very, I don't know even how to describe it.
That's like the perfection of that style. Like, it works perfectly in Sin City.
Yeah, because
there
it's
are other
black and white
like
with like a splash of color here and there. That's what it is.
But it has like strong like lines. It's very boxy the way he draws it. Like,
very boxy,
it
shadows. It's very specific. So I think the actual bringing it to life is what's most fascinating from from a filmmaking perspective. The Robert Rodriguez of it all is probably the most. Impressive thing about I remember this was on the cover of Entertainment Weekly. They pushed this on Entertainment Weekly, and all the characters all the actors are standing there in costume, right, one after another. And I think if you hadn't read Sin City, you didn't understand that all these guys were going to be in black and white for the whole movie. So you see like Bruce Willis and Clive Owen and all these guys, like, because like the way they look in color almost looks like it's almost kind of like a heavy metal riff. Like, it's very strange. I remember seeing them on the cover of Entertainment Weekly. I'm like, is this a heavy metal thing? Are they doing heavy metal? I was like, I thought this was Sin City. And then when you watch the movie, it's just so hyper specific to. It's a perfect distillation. For me, it's like a perfect distillation of what adaptation is, because you can't just adapt Frank Miller art from this movie. It would look really bad. So instead, what you do is do what Robert Rodriguez did, which is you take filmmaking and you conceptualize it into, okay, well, how do you make a movie black and white that's not really black and white? It's more just like shadows and light. Like, it's not a black and white filter over art. It is like shocked shadows and highlighted whites and these kinds of like really specific things. So, and I don't know if you know this, but so The Customer's Always Right is they're the bookends for the movie. That first scene with Josh Hartnett and Marley Shelton where they're on the balcony, that was test footage to actually get Miramax to pay for it. So like, Rodriguez shot that on spec and sent it to the Weinsteins. It was like, I can do this. Tell me what you think. And so not only that, he also forewent the DGA mark for this movie because he said Frank Miller had to be the co-director, and Frank Miller's not a director. So I remember at the time thinking that was really cool. Now I don't really give a shit. Who cares? But it was a really cool thing. But I mean, again, I like Robert Rodriguez movies. This is a real money where your mouth is moment for me. Because, like, the fact that he, like, put it on the line, he's like, I could do this. Like, check it out. I think that's pretty cool, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, it's the kind of thing where there's a lot of talk when you do, like, comic book movies, right? About, like, did they capture the spirit of it, the essence of it?
Yeah.
The things change between mediums, right? The way you tell a story in comic books is inherently different than how you tell a story in movies. Because like when I was in LA and I was a script analyst, right, there was this scourge of guys who were like, oh, my fucking screenplay's not going, but why don't we just make it a graphic novel? And you're like, because those are so vastly different, and how you think that's going to work. You don't just color the pictures to your screenplay and like all of a sudden that works. There are tools and tricks in how you use, you know, all the elements of a comic book. Yeah. And so this happened all the time, right? And there's the, you know, the Nolan version of doing it. There's the whatever the fuck Ghost Rider was version of doing it. There's the Marvel way of doing it.
Yeah.
There's Ang Lee's Hulk. There's a lot of ways we've seen this done. What I don't think, to me, is an argument. I don't think I've ever seen a comic book movie that more captured and perfectly distilled the essence of its source material than this movie. Like, Sin City, to me, is the most fascinating production-wise. Like, how do you just take that book and just make it Sin City the movie, if that makes sense, right? It's not like they adapted it and it's like now it's color and we got the characters, but like we got to give Marv a little softer edge, you know, so like people can like him more. Like it felt like at the time when I watched it, I was like, because Ang Lee did like the comic panel thing and like the little like
Ang
Marvel
Lee
font.
Tried to make a comic book.
This
in a
felt
movie.
like I was fucking standing in the pages of a comic book that I had fucking read and owned in a way that I have never before or after experienced. I think that is the thing you cannot take from, like, you know, no one would argue this is the best comic book movie, I would imagine.
I don't think so.
It's somehow that he fucking, how he pulled that off,
I think it's
I will never understand.
I think it's the best adaptation in terms of understanding the translation from page to screen. Like, no one has ever done, like, visually particularly. Like, you know, whatever in terms of... Because, again, Frank Miller writes pretty cinematically, especially, like, you know, there's so much fucking voiceover. That's, like, what he does.
So much VO.
And that's fine, like, but that's Frank Miller dialogue. That's part of it. I don't think anyone's ever, like, visually adapted a comic quite like this. Like, this is a straight up, this, not only is it like...
And dude, this thing could have been such a fucking turkey when it landed.
An absolute mess.
And that's the thing. And beyond just, like, the fact that it's like, I'm going to do black and white as a gag. To your point, like, the design of this movie. The fact that when you go back and watch behind the scenes of this movie, like, so the scene when... Clive Owen's talking in the bar and Marv's in there. I watched a whole behind-the-scenes thing. Not one of those actors was ever on set together.
None of them were on set
Marv was never there with Nancy, was never there with whatever Brittany Murphy's character is, was never there with whatever Clive Owen's character. Those characters never saw each other on that set.
Yeah.
And that's like the connect, because you can look, there's never a two-shot.
No.
That's the scene where you're like, oh, he put all these characters into this world. And I remember him talking, he's like, that's the nice thing about being the director. I can just kind of fucking shoot piece by piece. I think I remember reading that Elijah Wood and Marv were never on set together, that whole fucking movie.
I heard about that.
And they have a fucking fight together, right? And it's like, so just the ability for Robert Rodriguez to take all that independent do-it-yourself knowledge. And it does feel like this is the movie, to your point, it's the fulfillment of the promise of what he was, which is all of those skills let him just make this movie that felt like on its surface, like this gimmick will not work.
Yeah.
And it's spectacular.
It's really,
like what he achieved is incredible.
Yeah. I mean, it's visually just... I always remember, I think the thing... So if we're just going brick by brick, like the customer's always right, the bookend, when Marley Shelton's eyes like hum blue when she takes in the drag from the cigarette, I'm like, that's the cool kind of shit that's filmmaking. Like... That's what you were talking about, just like when people say, oh, my screenplay didn't work, I'm going to turn it into a comic book. I'm like, that's the kind of shit that's why you don't know the difference between the two. It's like, because that's the thing that you get to make in a movie that is never going to translate in a book properly. Like, it's those kinds of little visual elements that just fucking make a movie sing. And like, that's the kind of shit in this movie in particular. Like, damn, dude, that's knowing where like the limits, that's knowing the limits of one art form and elevating it into another. Like, that is fucking filmmaking.
It is. And I've always thought, like, him and Del Toro to me got like the knock of like really good filmmakers, but like, why do they use the CG people they do? Like, just never look like the Hellboy CG was like always awful to me. Like, I remember when Spy Kids were coming out, my kid brother was into them, and I was like, God, these are, like, unbearable to watch. Like, these are an actual assault against the visual palette to me. Like, I was also hitting that, like, really cool guy.
Yeah.
I'm graduating high school and about to go to film school and be successful.
Right.
So, also, I could have just been extra mean to those.
Sure.
But I just remember being like, this is offensive to the eye. Like, how did he go from being the fucking El Mariachi guy, right, to this? Like, Once Upon a Time in Mexico to this. Like, what fucking from Dusk Till Dawn to this? Weirdly, though, the bad CG kind of is a boon in this movie.
Yeah.
Because of the black and white pressing it and the fact that it's a comic book that is inherently not trying to hide its comic origins.
Yeah.
It strangely works. Like, so it is like all the things about him, good and bad, all fucking lined up to become this it reminds me of one of those scenes in a movie where it's like the 3 generators all have to hit 88 at the exact same time, and we're stressed out if that's gonna happen. Every fucking stream joined. It was the Ghostbusters crossing stream for Robert Rodriguez on this movie. And again, I think Robert Rodriguez was of Tarantino and Kevin Smith and a lot of those indie guys. I do think, in a weird way, he was the one who felt most authentically like the cool filmmaker. Because Tarantino was kind of a cunt, and Kevin Smith was like, hey, I have a small dick, and I like Star Wars. He felt like, and it's weird, it's taking Frank Miller's like small dick energy as made by like Bruce Willis and Benicio del Toro and all these guys who have like, they think they have big dick energy. I don't know what the equation on B versus A SD energy, but
I think what but you're not wrong though, and I think this is like the thing that has more. This is the thing that I think is kind of mission critical for the movie to work still, because look, if you watch it as an adult, yes, we all see what's going on here very quietly and very surreptitiously. There's a lot of things that I'm not sure anybody necessarily shares the values of anybody in Basin City based on how this movie works. But again, I think like that is kind of the cool thing about Robert Rodriguez is Robert Rodriguez has never tried to be anything other than Robert Rodriguez. He's never come to Hollywood. He always works out of Austin. Like, these are the things that he does. So I think lending to that authenticity is just, I wanted to make Sin City. I can make Sin City. I'm going to make Sin City. This is
yes.
fun.
It didn't get fucking noted to death or people getting fucking scared.
Yeah.
Of like seeing it through the way he did. Right.
Yeah,
and that to me, again, I think that's what you give Rodriguez the most is like, and whatever his sensibilities for that kind of like outsider machismo thing, like does work in it. Because again, to your point, if you go through the movie, you're like, almost everyone in this movie is a bad person, and I do not like them, and I do not wish for their success. That's okay. That's the entire conceit of Sin City. And you're like, oh, Bruce Willis, too, wants to have sex with the girl he saved. Did he save her because he wants that? Ew. Like, the movie's constantly, like, taking the little bits of light from you, which is fine, because that's the thing. It's always like that in Sin City. And again, it's this thing, though, where it's like, I think what I struggled with on this viewing, once the coolness of the production wears off, like, wow, dude, the way they did the fucking bandages to, like, catch the light, specific, like, things like that are fucking cool. Oh, my God, there's tits everywhere. That still works for me. Cool. There's, like, an inherent, like, this is, like, a 14-year-old dude's fantasy. But, like, like, a really weird 14-year-old. It's so childish, this movie. Like, it's so childish.
Like, okay, this is what it is I think childish is probably a good word for it. Like, for me, what it ends up being is such a hyper-specific thing. Because, like, Frank Miller is the hyper-masculinity guy. And I think what's nice is the movie of Sin City does such a good job of, like, sort of softening that hyper-masculinity just enough to make it, like...
What?
Absolutely.
What do you think? It softens it by 1%? What are we talking about here?
You know what? I'm being serious. Like, the 1% is just enough for me to, like, actually want to engage on the movie. Like,
this reminds me of one time my buddy told me he was talking to this guy, and the guy goes, he was in a band, right? He was describing his band, and he goes, yeah, we're like AC/DC, but more manly. That's how he described his own band. And my friend just went,
means.
"What is it? Just explosion sounds?" Like, what? Like that difference between like there's not a lot of top here.
Yeah.
How can you explain to me the softening of the men who all of them love to hit women and fucking murder everything in their path?
I'm not saying that part. Look, for me, this is again going back to like translating from comics to screen. Is I do think with like, because again, this is much more. There's a lot more gray than black and white in this movie. Not thematically; those are all very black and white, terrible things. But I think because
every guy in this movie has an ironclad code that they follow to the T. They don't waffle. They don't have more. Except for Marv is like, well, I'm not on my meds, but fuck it.
Yeah, I think that like I don't know how else to describe it other than just knowing when I read like The Hard Goodbye. There's something so just like fucking horrifying. Like there's a level of horrifying masculinity coming out of that, and for some reason. The movie has like just like it's like dialed back just a little bit for some reason. I don't know. This could just be me reading it too.
I think it's just like I think you could give it.
I'm sure it's
Bruce
just
Willis,
me
because this to me was like one of the last like fucking look at Bruce Willis, dude. Like
yeah.
He still to me was like bringing like his full force Bruce Willis stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And he has just a built-in like charm.
Yeah.
Until the second part of his story. They adds a little like, okay. The thing is though, when I'm reading it in a book, it felt like I was reading like an article of a bygone era. It's like when you look at like old Playboys and it's like,
that's what I was going to say. Like
nice tits. Why does she have a beehive? You know, like
it feels like you're watching. Yeah. It feels like you're reading old porn versus like when you watch the movie, you're just like reading airbrush.
This is how my grandpappy got nuts back in the day. Like he was rock hard and looked at a woman's beehive and he's like, I can bust to that. So that there's a historical protection, right? When you see it on the screen, I think the personification of watching, like here's a great scene at the end. It's like when Clive Owen comes in and there's Old Town. And this is a section of town where these prostitutes have taken back their turf. They're sex workers who will be in charge of themselves. They will not be fucking ruled.
Yeah.
They're fighting off the mob. They made a deal with the cops. They handle justice in Old Town. If you fuck with one of these girls, you're going to get it.
Yeah.
And so the scene is Jacket Boy, who just had fucking pee in his mouth. And when the pee came out, it was yellow. It's like, cool,
awesome.
Man.
Fucking
and Clive
awesome.
Owen with his little fucking red chucks
awesome
that I actually have. I was like, fuck yeah. And you're like, but this is the part where I was like, this is... Like, if you would ask me at 13, what is the coolest scene in a movie ever, this would be it.
Okay.
At my age now, I go, oh, my God, what? So he goes in, and Jackie was like, get over here, I want to have sex with you. Like, right, whatever. He sounds like the fucking doctor from Howard the Duck, all the movie.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, my God, Jackie boy, you don't even realize, deadly little mijo. And it's just a fucking hot Asian lady on a roof with a katana and shit. And I was like, yep, here we go. And Gail's like got an Uzi and her fucking giant tits out. And you're like, yep, I see what we're doing. And, you know, she's saying sugar a bunch. And I was like, yep. The scene, so she kills Benicio del Toro, right?
She cuts his hand off.
Here's the part of the movie that's fucking crazy, right? So these women have built this entire town of protection that they can handle anything. A cop has never come down and crossed the line. A mafia guy has never come down and crossed the line. And Clive Owen is sitting there and he's like, I'll handle it. And they're like, bitch, this is Old Town. Stop mansplaining how to do turf wars to us. And Clive Owen goes, I need a hard top with a good engine. Don't fuck it up, broads. I know you guys don't know nothing about cars, but get me a good one. And Rosario Dawson's like saying, he's like, Mijo's at my back. This could be my last moment. How does he fix this to the women who have secured power in Sin City, the worst place we've ever spent time in a movie? He fucking smacks her. And she just goes, you fuck! I forgot how red hot our passion was. And I go, that's not a thing. That's how children write.
Yeah, see, I was going to say, like, that's
the playground. The girl I like doesn't have a crush on me. If I throw pea gravel at her, she'll fall in love with me.
There's another scene in The Hard Goodbye that it's the same. It's the same energy, which is okay. So after Elijah Wood's character captures Marv. They're sitting down there, and Carlo Gugino, who doesn't get to wear clothes in this whole entire movie, which I'm just like, that's, whatever. Carlo Gugino, she's like screaming. She's like, he ate my head and made me watch. And you're like, oh man. And then right afterwards, the next guy's like, oh damn, I could use a cigarette. And Marv's voice is like, broads, they just need to cry it out sometimes. I'm like, good Lord. Like this time, that's the kind of stuff that I'm like,
just cry it out and they're all better. And he's like, I'm going to go rip this fucking ironclad window out. And it's like, not only that, Marv crosses into Old Town.
Yeah.
And Wendy, Goldie's sister, is beating the shit out of him. Right. And eventually they realize it's not him. And he stands up and just unties himself from the ropes. And he's like, all right, good. And Rosario Dawson's character, Gail, goes, I tied them ropes myself. That's my specialty. And Wendy goes, you could have gotten up whenever you wanted. Right? Like, he's so fucking tough and strong that these women don't even matter. And he just goes, he fucking takes a drag. He's like, I don't hurt girls. And I was like, this is so fucking stupid. Like, it's so fucking corny.
Again, it's like the perfect distillation.
I don't hurt goils.
But that's like Frank Miller to a T, though. Like, I hate this. Like, again,
it is.
I don't want to harp on this, but like Frank Miller,
I love Frank Miller. He might be the best guy on earth. Let me clarify. There's no fucking insult meant in this.
I have
his
no
writing
ill will towards Frank Miller.
The smallest dick energy.
Yes, that
of maybe
is
any
the smallest
writer.
Dick energy.
Like that scene, those scenes we just mentioned. That is small dick energy writing. That is the like. I will take hot dames. Like, it's beyond so that, fucking lame, dude.
The others, like, there's so many, like, little small dick energy. Like, him shooting the statue in the bill. I'm like, why are you doing that, dude? Like, it's just, like, stuff like that. You're like, that's so hardcore. I'm like, not at all, actually. You could have just gone and found him.
Marv beating up the bouncer who's making a minimum wage. And it's like, Marv, he's new. He didn't know. And I was like, don't. That's not a thing. Like, that's not okay. There's a streak though in every man. And I think that's what this is like a real, like, taking us back to like that little bit of genetic code that remembers somewhere back in the day that our ancient granddaddy took a fucking rock to an enemy's head so that he could bed a woman down in a cave. And that's how our species came. There's a small part of that. Cause like, there's that Clive Owen line he even says with Marv and he's like, Look at Marv. Like,
they would have been perfectly fine like swinging a sword.
Yeah. And it's like, that moment, I was like, that's selling The Secret. That's the line where he's like, God, if I could just be a real man the way we're meant to be, like, women like Nancy would be thrown to me and have no say in it.
I think that's the other thing, too, about the movie is, like, the pastiche and the sort of design work, a lot of it, is very, like, 50 to 70s noir. It's not like 90s. Like, it's not this idea of like hard-boiled.
Yeah, it's like, not modern. It's kind of a lost in time.
Yeah,
kind of
like
I remember someone once said that they used to love to film in Cuba because Cuba was kind of like a stuck version of an American era. Like,
well, it still has the old cars. Like, it has like the hard tops
so, like,
and that kind of stuff.
There's this weird, like, you can kind of use it as whatever you want. That's how Sin City is, man. It can really, like, there are aesthetics that still feel modern, like Clive Owen having the Converse, right? Like, that is a modern aesthetic.
Of course.
I don't know.
But it's not too modern.
The other smallest energy.
It's not Nike
can we do
Dunks.
One more?
It's Converse, which could be at any time between like the 50s to the 80s.
Yeah.
Yes, we can do one more small dick energy if you want.
Let's just get this out of the way now. We can go into some more of each story.
Sure. Do you have a favorite, by the way?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll save it. There's nothing worse in this movie, 100% nothing worse, than the Nancy story.
Yeah, it's fucking
the lack
horrible.
of agency they give that girl.
It's
that she's
terrible.
So smart. One, it's like she's sending Cordelia letters. It's like they can't figure out who the fuck is sending him letters, whatever. We see this traumatized girl, and the guy saves her. It starts with this cool Bruce Willis, like, an old man dies, a young girl lives. That's a fair bargain. That's a good trade for the universe. And you're like, hell yeah, dude. I fucking love that. Nice. Way to fight back. And Quinten says, like, no, he wakes up. And fucking Senator Rourke's like, I'm gonna fucking make you live in hell. We're gonna get beat up and diddled and whatever. Some guy with fucking chest hair that goes all the way up to the top of his shoulder is gonna punch you a bunch. Like, let's go. And then all of a sudden, like, Cordelia gets out, and there's just this moment where he's like, fuck, her letters aren't coming. Like, what? And then one day, a squishy red envelope comes, and they've got Cordelia. And he goes, here's what I have to do. I had to tell Rourke that I did it. And he goes in and confesses. He's like, I'm the killer, and I'm a diddler. I raped a kid, all that stuff. And they go, cool. The next shot is him getting out of jail. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? Oh, it's a setup. And I was like, that's such like movie nonsense shit that could never happen in the world. Right? Because then Rourke goes to the papers. They're like, told you he was a diddler. P.S. He's on the Greyhound into Basin City.
Yeah.
The idea that this girl, because someone saved her life, that this little fucking 8-year-old girl had her life saved, that the fact of watching this old guy help her so hypersexualized her to the point where she becomes a bar cowboy stripper. And then the moment she sees the old man who saved her, runs into his arms because it's time to fuck him, is one of the fucking lamest things that's ever been put into a movie.
It's not
this
great.
is, and it's not even like a Leon the Professional where you're like, there's something extra here that like the flavor of it is bizarre, but you can pretend to not see it. This is one of the lamest things I've ever seen in a movie. And I was shocked rewatching it how fucking much that bothered me. Like how annoyed I was with that part of the movie.
Well, I think the problem is there's not enough. This is always my problem with this scene. This is even when I was like 14, or I think I was 18 when this came out. However old I was when I saw this is even my problem in the theater. Is let's just like, there's not enough of an overture from Hartigan of being like, no, we can't do this. It's like only twice. I'm like, dude, you should stay away from this woman. Like, she could die anyways. You know that. And you're literally just like, lady. Like,
well, the other thing, Hartigan never
only
writes
twice.
her back.
It's like only twice.
So, like, I see how he could become obsessed with her because he's like, I thought I was going to find skinny little bookworm. Yeah. And now look at that, rocking fucking tits and hips and belly buttons, dude. Like, I'm fucking torqued. I'm prison torqued. Like, I get how he's into it. But the fact that they have, like, he goes to her apartment, which is empty. She's got, like, fucking leather-bound editions of law books and shit.
Yeah. She's a smart person.
Get the fuck out of here. She's, like, a smart person who's evaded the mob, and she's doing everything great. She's going to see his old ass, and it's like, he did save me. I better give him some mouth. Like, that's insane. That's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. And then the only other bit of advice he gives her, because he's like, don't kiss me. And then they kiss some more, and he's like, all right, I'm definitely going to do this. No, I can't. But it seems like it's just not enough. And then the next thing he says is when she's being abducted by the yellow bastard, right?
Yeah.
This horrifying sex criminal. He just goes, don't scream. And I was like, again, this is some fucking playground horse shit. This is some fucking playground bullshit.
This is like, and I really do. This is like Frank Miller 101. Like, there is just, it's like surface level. It's like surface level masculinity, surface level everything. There's like, it's like one layer deep in terms of like thought process. Mm-hmm. And this is, I think, sort of what's fun about comics starting in 1986 and the deconstructionist era in general is like everyone can read Frank Miller books or Alan Moore books or anybody can read books from like those writers specifically. But Frank Miller's probably the easiest one to do this with. And do so much dissertation and thought process on the writing and the conceptualization of the stories and everything like that. And I guarantee you, if you asked Frank Miller in the middle of submitting like these scripts or drawing these and like doing these things for Sensei, he'd be like, I don't know, it just seemed cool. You know, man with a code.
So that's exactly what I was going to ask. Like Alan Moore, you can tell there's like a lot of thoughts about what these characters meant. With Frank Miller, when you said that, I was like, is this he's rubbing our noses in the outdated tropes, or is he the guy who's just like, that is fucking cool? That is cool as shit.
I think Frank Miller's very much a that is fucking cool guy. Because
I think you could look at the Dark Knight book and be like, that captured an element of Batman that we didn't really want to grapple with that much before that. But you know what, though?
Batman at that time, like the politics of the Dark Knight Returns isn't that complicated. Like when you really like extrapolate.
No, well, what it is like what
it's
if
not complicated.
What if Batman was Marv, right? Like, and he was a little bit like,
that's all.
I'm fucking sick of this, and there's a little like get off my porchness
to
it.
Pissed. Yeah. What if Batman was so pissed, but also Clint Eastwood from Gran Torino, and you're like,
and he returns, and you're like,
and he returns. And not only that, everyone's wearing visors and like has mohawks, and he doesn't like those guys. What if his car was a tank?
And what if young people were drawn so cartoonishly stupid that it would make you want to throw up?
What if,
dude?
And then what if the new Robin is a girl, but she has, again, no agency over anything she's doing ever, and she's just at the behest of this psychopath? And then not only that, these teenagers see this guy on TV break some other guy's leg, and they're like, oh my God, I'm going to paint a bat on my face and become not a Nazi. Like, there's just so...
still a Nazi, but just...
Still a Nazi, but like, for good?
My face.
Like, there's just...
Can we take all these Nazis that are popping up and harness that rage to destroy things that are bad? And it's like, nope, you're on a bad slope. Nope. Again, but that's what I mean. You take Batman and you just take... This was the Bruce Wayne is the mask, not Batman. A lot of that starts to me here, where this was where the stories were less, they're getting dark. And there were other writers doing this before, like Frank Miller gets like the landmark credit. These ideas were there, right? But the medium was just different. The industry was different, where they weren't going to be like the front street like theme of the book.
The 80s was like a revolution for these books because they were dealing with social, DC particularly.
And again, to be fair though, we grew up comic book kids, and when we were little, not everyone was reading comics. And I feel like comics have kind of waned back now again culturally a little. It was not like the Pussy Posse when we were at the stores when we were kids.
No.
It was not. So there's a lot of like knowing your audience, and it's almost like Sin City is like, I bet incels jerk off to this book constantly.
1,000%.
You know, like it's that energy. And again, to your point, I think we as an audience can look at that type of hyper masculinity and delineate and just enjoy that, because the storytelling is great.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm like, this 1% dialed back, because it's still there, obviously. Like, we just talked about 3 huge parts of this movie that are just like, Jesus Christ. But like the Robert Rodriguez of it all, I think it's not even Robert Rodriguez. What it is like the filmmaking opportunity has to, by nature, dial it back just like 1%, weirdly. And I don't know why.
We're still going to have all the girls' tits out. We're still going to punch women every chance we get.
A lot of nudity, a lot of slaps.
When Wendy's like, he killed my sister, I deserve to be there. And Marv's just like, psh. Yeah. I was like, all right, I guess he does hit girls. And like knocks her out so bad that he can cut this guy apart for hours and watch a wolf eat him. Like, gives her brain damage, probably. Like, Marv's the one character in Sin City who we see legitimately has superpowers. I guess Clive Owen, too. Yeah. He's jumping out of fucking 4th-story windows, whatever. Again, it's just like there's a fucking stink on this movie that I had just kind of forgotten about. I haven't read or watched Sin City since I was like young, angrier man, probably.
It's a really specific kind of like, again, it's just nonsense. Like, I don't know how else to describe it to people. Like, 'cause I've had people like, what's Sin City? I'm like,
you know what?
Nonsense.
Here's how I would describe it and see if you think this is close.
Okay.
This was a movie that came out, and I was like, that is what I would say is the cinema of cool. And now I'm like, it's a really well-made cinema for losers. Like, if someone right now in this day and age told me, like, their favorite movie was Sin City and they watch it a bunch, I'd be like, are you okay? Do you need to talk? Like, do you want to go get a coffee? Like, what is going on in your life? This is the thing. It's such losery material in this day and age. And again, sure. I do think this is like, it was when it was written, it was hearkening back to like bygone times.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
And now we're watching
like,
it, and now it's bygone times 2, and it's there's some shit in here that's just fucking lame. And what the movie banks on is that Mickey Rourke and Clive Owen and Bruce Willis are going to be so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And that those 3 guys are so charming and charismatic. Mickey Rourke then, not now. Back before we were like, who's that again? Oh, Mickey Rourke's back.
Before
he
was doing a GoFundMe for his rent. Yeah.
Yeah, back before he was on like reality shows, fucking asking people to blow him all day. Not good Mickey. Like, that's not good Mickey Rourke, right? When Mickey Rourke became famous again and kind of Johnny Depped it, not that version, right? Like, I remember when he came back, I was like, who the fuck is that actor? They are incredible. Yeah. And so I think you're banking on those 3 performances, which are fucking powerhouse, right?
They're great
Rosario Dawson's great. Michael Clark Duncan's great in his one moment. Like, the cast
Nick Stahl
got the memo.
Does a really good job
Nick Stahl's
being creepy.
great. Yeah, they know exactly the movie they're making, and they fucking deliver that. Like, there's some moments where Brittany Murphy, I was like, great performance, because, like, some of her lines are so fucking bad.
They're bad.
It's like, oh, you gotta hit me. And you're just like, oh. And Benicio del Toro would be good in literally any movie ever you put him in. Yeah. But it's like, there are moments where you're like, this can't work, and it just does because the actors are so good. And because Robert Rodriguez production looks so glossy.
Yeah. There's not a bad performance in this movie, which is why it's like super tolerable still, even though it has like all of these like very.
What was it? Fucking Quaid, Jack Quaid, or no? Who was Andrew Garfield came out this week, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't want to give money to fucking J.K. Rowling and Harry Potter because she fucking blows." And I had this argument with my writing partner John, and it's like, I get it, man. I like the Harry Potter stories. I thought they were cool. Like, they have some emotional weight for me because my younger brother fell in love with them. And when I read them, I see Harry Potter as my younger brother, like the little tiny version of him.
Yeah, sure.
And it's really nice, man. And, you know, I love a lot of things about that. I get that she fucking sucks. And I was like, but yeah, it's like, you know, because then everyone has to go in and they're like, she fucking sucks. Let's just eviscerate Harry Potter. And it's like, okay, man, you can say what you want. The proof's in the pudding. That was like a huge, like game-changing kind of thing for a lot of people. But Andrew Garfield was like, you know, I fucking hate her, and I don't want to give she who shall not be named any money. Or they who shall not be named, right? To fucking fuck with their pronouns.
Yeah.
But he's like, but I went back and watched him, and he's like, Daniel Radcliffe is the truth. And he's like, you just look at the magic and artistry in every frame of that movie. He's like, there are thousands of like beautiful artists who made something incredible. And you can't let that one fucking turd take all that away.
Yeah.
That's how you watch Sin City, it feels
that's
like.
Not
a real, Frank Miller's the turd.
It's the turd in the punch bowl.
The attitudes of the movie are the turd.
Like, it's the one time you're like, like you don't want the turd to ruin the entire punch bowl. And you're trying really hard to not let it happen.
So yeah, you push the ladle, you push the turd over to the edge, and you're like, maybe this part didn't get any on.
Yeah, you're like, well, it just got in here, so I'm sure it's not fully contaminated.
5-second rule for turds. And someone's like, are you drinking the turd punch? You're like, I had a hard day, shut up. Yeah. I would just want none of it. But again, I think that Andrew Garfield sentiment, though, is like, if you really crack down in any movie that had antiquated attitudes that we don't love nowadays, or people who were unsavory characters, there would be no entertainment left, it feels like.
Right. I think this is the thing that I always kind of like come to when we start talking about, not this stuff, but like when I have conversations with people about art, and, you know, I have a couple of friends who really like to throw the baby out with the bathwater on these things. And I'm like, yeah, there's some people that I think you could probably do that with, but like that has less to do with like, for me, that has a lot less to do with how I feel about them as a person, and more to do with like, I could take or leave their art. You know what I mean? Like, I think Sin City's a great example of like,
Sin City's not like this. As far as I know, Frank Miller did not do anything wrong. He's just weird energy guy.
Other than him being like a weird neoconservative, like that's his business. Like, you could read his books and know that. It's not like it's not on Front Street. I think the J.K. Rowling thing's hard for a lot of people because Harry Potter was so meaningful to like so many people. I think
the fact the world of Harry Potter is supposed to be this like anyone can have magic in them kind of thing.
I think the biggest
I guess not, because Muggles don't, fuckers.
I watched the trailer this week, and I actually think the biggest offensive thing from the movie is not the J.K. Rowling thing. It's like, wait, why are we doing like the saddest version of this? Like, it looks like Harry Potter's life. I know. I saw some
guys like, it looks really lived in, and I was like, yes, I wanted Harry Potter without the magic.
I'm like, I watched the whole trailer. I'm like, was there any magic in this trailer?
Jonah Hill did. It's like, he's looking like Harold Potter.
Yeah. That's exactly what I told someone. I was like, it's that Jonah Hill joke. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, it's like Harold Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Yeah. Because we have to have an entire scene where he like gets his hair cut.
His being starved and living under the stairs is no longer kitschy fun. It's abuse. It's like
fuck yourself.
All right. Enough about the fucking
HP.
Small dick energy of Sin City. So there are 3 tales essentially, right? There's Hartigan, there's Marv, and then
the customer's always right. The yellow.
What was Clive Owen's character?
That's Clive Owen's character is
Frank. New face Frank.
Dwight.
New face Dwight. So, okay, those are our tales. What are they called again?
So the bookend one with Josh Hartnett's called The Customer's Always Right.
All right.
That Yellow Bastard, obviously.
That's the famous one.
The Hard Goodbye is Marv's story, and then the Big Fat Kill is the Clive Owen story.
Yeah. Oh, we're talking about ranking these.
Yeah, so, which one? I'm curious. What's your least favorite? I think the easy one is The Customer's Always Right because it's just a book.
Customer's Always Right is like, I don't even count that. That's just like an add-on. Like, it has nothing to do with the movie.
So really these three.
Nice that like she's gonna get her justice at the end.
Yeah, it's That Yellow Bastard, the Hard Goodbye, and the Big Fat Kill.
The Big Fat Kill's the least interesting of the 3 to me.
Okay,
it's got lots of tits, and that's cool. It's got the most small dick energy stuff to me.
Sure.
Because the way they do the prostitutes in this it's like they have control, but only as much control as men will let them. And it's like, okay. Yeah. It also does this weird, like, Clive Owen is banging Brittany Murphy, and then he's battling Jackie Boy, right? Benicio del Toro, who's one of my favorite things in the movie.
Yeah.
And he makes him drink piss, and this cop just fucking turns tail, and they're going to go to Old Town and do it. Because, cops wouldn't know that you get murdered in Old Town, whatever. He wouldn't have seen that case hundreds of times.
Right.
It's just one of those where the story just doesn't do much for me. I think the way they do the prostitutes is not... Like, this young girl is working in Old Town and is not old enough to fully remember the bad days that they keep talking about, where they were all essentially enslaved by these people that Michael Clark Duncan represents. But she just immediately turns on them, so fast. Like, to me, it's just, it's clunky, and I don't love anything it's doing. I love Clive Owen and Benicio del Toro in the car. Like, Clive Owen is perfect for this movie to me.
Yeah.
Benicio del Toro is perfect for every movie. So that works. I just... Michael Clark Duncan, like, he's doing, I don't know what that was, where he's squeezing her head. It's so bad. And it's cracking. And they have the fucking nerds who are, like, watching it. And then, just because it's Sin City, he's got to fucking smack Rosario Dawson so hard the whole chair goes flat. It's just, it's the one where there's the least fun stuff in it. And the most, like, ooh, that Sin City flavor. Well, that's a little too much.
I will say one of my favorite bits in the movie, in the Big Fat Kill particularly, is that bald guy with the S&M costume.
You got to be fucking kidding me. Yeah, fucking Christ.
I was like, why is this in the movie? Especially when he gets hit with it. Look at that. How about that? I'm like, what is going on in this movie? This part particularly, like, why is this in this movie?
I'm so glad you brought that up, because that's one of those, like, the whole thing is it's this hyper-masculine
it's
SME
such a weird
fantasy. Outlier. Why is this guy going, hey, look, an arrow. Hey, arrow. Hey, arrow. Like, does anyone notice I have an arrow? It goes on for so much longer than I remembered.
It's so weird. I'm sorry. I laugh every time, even though it's like the stupidest thing to put in a movie. I'm like,
take out all the just hitting women. That's the second worst crime of the movie. That's like a thing that should, like, make you immediately turn off a movie to me. That's such a bad moment.
The reason I laugh at it too is not because it's a funny bit, but because it's such a, why is this in the movie? And, like, is this in the movie because you think we need humor right here? I'm like, I don't need this to be funny at all.
Yeah,
I'm good.
It's going to be a nice pressure release for us. Not the worst comedy bit ever. You're literally about to have 50 titties on top of a roof with guns.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Like,
Rosario Dawson's right there. It's fine.
Well, it's also one of those, too. It's like, you're giving me, like, flavors I don't like. but you're not like giving me existential dread. I'm not really grappling with the darkness in my world because I'm watching a very cartoonish world.
I'm never going to be any of these people ever.
This is not me watching like Hamnet and like crying and afraid of everything in the world. This is just like fucking tits and fighting and like, I'm cool. I don't need you to like fucking give me a comic breath of relief. I'm fine.
I'm set.
So
I don't need to take a breath
that's what
here.
I'd say. Good. And yeah, Clive Owen at the end, he's like, my warrior woman, we kiss. And I was like, oh, so Brittany Murphy doesn't, you literally almost fucking ruined Old Town forever because the waitress, and then she doesn't matter, and you're just going to bang Rosario Dawson again? I was like, hey, big ups, man. There, I would take that shot too if I could.
Dick energy dialed back by 1%.
Yeah, still it's just that's the one where it's like they don't do. There's like the weird like bomb guy and the tar pits, and it's like there's just a lot of weird like. It just doesn't click with me, that one.
I mean, here's my other thing too. I don't know why Quentin Tarantino was a guest director for this at all, for no reason other than just like he was around for the day. He like came to set.
Rodriguez just like, hey, fucking. I love that about Rodriguez though, where he's just like, I'm not worried about this now. Like, just come play. Yeah, come fucking play.
Like it was the one because he directed the drive to the tar pits scene, and I was just like, why would I ever need Quentin Tarantino to direct this one scene? I've like yesterday when I watched it, and the many other times I've watched this movie, I was just like, I'm trying to find what in this scene is particularly like Tarantino-y that I need to know. Like why I'm like, there is none. He was around for the day. He was there.
I guess there's a cop who like pulls them over in a torrential downpour to say, hey, your light's off. I'll let you off with a pass. You don't look suspicious at all. Your friend's fucking face down on the goddamn glove box, because he's drunk. It's like stupid. Fucking stupid. No, that one, again, Clive Owen and Benicio are great. Brittany Murphy's great. Rosario Dawson's great. Michael Clark Duncan's trying.
That one's like all style.
Like,
all style.
Yeah.
All
that's the one where I was like, okay, I get it. Tits and like Japanese dream girl fantasy or, Asian dream girl fantasy, whatever country. I was just like, that one to me, it's like, it offered me nothing. I wasn't into that one.
I get it.
Do you agree with that ranking?
Yeah, that's fine.
Number 2, I'm going to put That Yellow Bastard or The Yellow Bastard. Because, again, I think it's real hard to get past the, like, Nancy leaping off of the fucking counter to blow old Bruce Willis because he did his job as a cop and her trauma became a different kind of trauma later we see where it's like, now I get to fucking blow old fucking Bruce Willis who admitted to horrible crimes, blah, blah. It's just, it's like weird. Yeah. It's weird. Again, all the cast is great. Willis is fucking great. But again, Nancy is training to be a lawyer. She's dancing. You're like, okay, like
making her money.
She's using what she got to make her money and put herself through school. That's cool. The moment she sees this guy, she just sexually fucking melts. Like she's a Nazi's face and the fucking Ark of the Covenant just opened. Like that's lame. That's inherently uncool and lame. But I think Bruce Willis has my favorite little kind of Sin City gimmick in his story, which is the heart.
Yeah.
When he's like, the ticker. He's like, the doc said this would happen. He's like, 1 more step, old man. 2 more steps. He grabs the pipe. And he's like, I got to take Nick Offerman and this other guy out quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I thought the mechanics of the voiceover for that one with like kind of talking through the heart, or like when he's hanging and he's like, tighten your neck, hold your neck tight, get the window, hold your neck. And again, it's like he fucking parkoured, he got a shard and cut himself, whatever, stupid comic book movie shit. But I love the voiceover mechanics. Bruce Willis is just, there's a reason he was Bruce Willis, one of the biggest stars on the planet. All his shit just fucking works. And Nick Stahl's shit is incredible. He's so fucking fun as the Yellow Bastard.
I think we always... So Nick Stahl's had like a really rough few years. He like went missing at one point. Nick Stahl is like such an exceptional actor, and I'm so sad we haven't really gotten to be in the Nick Stahl movie going business. He's so fucking good at being a creep here. Like it's, and I mean, I think
first story is pretty good, but when he returns,
the makeup the makeup is like an enhancement, obviously. Like, and it's creepy. Like it's really freaky makeup, but like. The thing about it in a lesser actor's hands, that makeup would be such a fucking like, yeah, I get it. It's a guy who's yellow. It's weird. He makes it so much worse because he's just such a great actor. Like, I really, that is like such a fucking mind-numbing performance to give in a movie like this.
That makeup, though, when they come back to the barn and it's just him with his little boxers on, and I was like, that's a choice. I was like, take the boxers off. Have the tiny Picholine out. What are we doing?
The boxers and the pot belly are like...
he has this tiny little malformed nub of a dick that Hartigan rips off again like 2 minutes later. It's like, the boxers just had me fucking rolling for some reason.
Well, that's like... Okay.
He looks like Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force in that moment.
Say, this is the other thing about going back to this small dick energy thing. This is the other thing that's like the most like, really? Like, for real? So it starts with Hartigan in the very beginning shoots like, I take his weapons. Both of he shoots him in the dick, and I'm like,
dude, see, I like that line.
I'm like,
I
cool.
thought that was cool.
I'm like, it's a great line. And I'm like, shoots him in the dick, cool.
You can't even raise that cannon, Hartigan.
Sure I can. Bam! You're like, that's Bruce Willis. That's the Bruce Willis we're here for.
That's big Bruce Willis energy.
Small dick.
SDE. Yeah.
But like, when he describes, he's like, my dad paid a fortune to grow back the stuff you blew off. And I'm like, weird. Like, why?
This family's all over the place. Like they're not great.
What is this family? Like, just, oh my God, my kid.
I don't know.
His penis is gone. I guess I can't have an heir. He wasn't going to give you one anyways.
The story works. The prison stuff is fascinating. Bruce Willis is so good in the voiceover sections.
Sure.
It's just great. And at the end, the showdown, like the scene I remembered from it when I was rewatching it today.
When he
I was
rips
like,
his dick off?
What do I remember? I'll never forget that line where he's just fucking pulverizing him because he rips his little dick off.
Yeah.
But it's just the boom, boom, boom. And he just goes, I'm just pounding like pulpy shards into the fucking floor of the barn or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just remember even as a young guy being like, holy fuck, dude, that is metal.
Yeah.
Like, it was one of those kills I was like, have I not seen that before? Just a guy just punching a hole.
Whereas like
because movies love to do that you can get punched like 800 times and no damage happens.
Yeah.
This guy just like punches a face into mush. And I remember being like, that's fucking rad. And the shot of the yellow bastard with his blood out everywhere.
Yeah.
I was just like, it's fucking cool. That thing that he's just like, he stinks. He stinks even worse on the inside when his blood's coming out. It's like, it's just awesome. Like, it's just really fun. And so that one, despite it would have been the best to me had they taken out the fucking weird Nancy thing.
Sure.
And the whole, like, she's like, I didn't scream hot again. And it's like, no, what?
No, you should have screamed and called for the cops and said, hey, this is weird.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, scream at the motel. Maybe someone will come get you.
Shout, I need an adult. That's what you do.
I was like, let's not, like, fetishize that. Like, let's not fetishize that she got tortured and whatever. Neither here nor there. I think that one's still, like, the power, the raw fucking movie star power of Bruce Willis is on full display in that one. And then, for me, Marv is just, like, targeted right at my heart. Like, Elijah Wood is, like, the creepy little tiny killer with the claws, the horror movie elements of it. And again, in a movie with Bruce Willis, Benicio del Toro, great actors. Mickey Rourke fucking annihilates everyone in this movie. Mickey Rourke as Marv is the best thing in this movie. It's not fucking close. No other performer comes close to it. He was fucking designed, Weird Science style, to be in Sin City. It was the perfect fucking casting and the perfect fucking role. And he so encapsulates what this movie is.
Another great makeup. Like, it's just... It really is, again, I know we keep saying, like, small dick energy, but this is the other thing that I like about Sin City is I don't appreciate
and I'm not sitting here to pretend I have a lot of B dick energy.
No, not at all. I just know that I'm
recognize
not this
our own.
I just know I'm not this guy. I'm not these guys who watch this movie and go, oh, my God. But... I don't there's a thing that people say, like, I just want to go to the movies and shut my brain off. I'm like, okay, well, that's fucking dumb. Why would you ever want to watch a movie and just, I'm like, but here's like what you should be saying is like, what I want to do is go to a movie and enjoy myself. Like, really, like, sit there and just like popcorn out. And that's cool. That's why they make popcorn movies, cinematic movies, like, that's a tentpole movie for you, you know?
Yeah. No pun intended. They want a black and white, I know who's good and I know who's bad. And again, Marv is bad, so that's not the way it is. But
I think this is what's interesting about Sin City.
It's a straightforward, he wants revenge story.
The baseline is everyone sucks. Nobody is good in Sin City, period. Like, everyone is terrible. Everyone is awful. Everyone is horrible. Even the cops are bad.
We get why Marv's doing what he's doing, and he's doing it to worse people. So you're like, good guy?
It is the easiest story. A hooker was nice to Marv. So now he's going to kill he's going to find out who killed her.
She smelled how Angel smelled. Like Mickey Rourke it's like got the best noir lines. It's just like this is Sin City. If you like that story, you'll like this movie. You'll like those books. You'll probably love Frank Miller. Like to me, this was where they got it 100% right.
Yeah.
Whereas the others at times felt like it was like a little the Rodriguez Miller like formulas might have been a little off ratio wise. This one's perfect. And Marv is like this super powered behemoth. Yeah. And he looks awesome. He sounds awesome. He's beating everyone's ass. He's grinding people's face in pavements. And you're like, that alone is cool. When the story fucking kicks over and we see what Elijah Wood is on the Rourke family farm.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, my heart, be still my heart. Like, I feel it like Marv. I fucking love what they're doing here. So Elijah Wood plays this weird ally of Cardinal Rourke, right? He's the guy who could have been president, but he took the cloth, right? Kevin is one of his, like, wards or friend, whatever. On this farm, he captures women and kills them and eats them, right? And Marv finds this out. He's got a dog that eats the scraps. This is the part I didn't understand is why did Elijah Wood's character use his sneaking abilities where Marv's like, no one's that quiet and can sneak up on me. Why did he use those abilities to kill Goldie but, like, didn't eat her? Like, why wouldn't he want to eat the body? Isn't that the fucking thing? I know she was saying she might talk and whatever, but, like, he didn't eat the body. Anyways, these two stories collide, right? Yeah, there's naked parole officers, there's medicines, and when he finds Kevin beats the shit out of Mickey Rourke, which I thought was such a cool, like, little guy. It's like a D&D moment.
Yeah.
It's like, love it. And then, yeah, it's kind of like a horror movie. The gimmick, the other thing I remembered in Sin City when I was, like, going back through it was he's like, I need barbed wire. I need a glove. I need this. And then at the end, it's Mickey Rourke's hands, and he balls him up, and he goes, I needed my mitts.
And my mitts.
And I was like, that's
great.
That's awesome.
Like, that's the noir stuff cool. I want. That's the stuff I like.
Like dumb noir henchman, right? Like the guy who's like muscle at the dock. That's I could have been a contender. Like, it's that moment. I was like, that's fucking cool.
That's what I want, though.
It's
like,
just
to me,
cool.
That's what it is.
And again, we see that Frank Miller definitely has a kink that he's not hiding well, because what does this one do? He ties Elijah Woods to him with handcuffs, right? And he fucking smacks a woman because, you know, you have to smack a woman. It's, what do they say? It's like horror movies in Sin City. You got to smack a woman or kill someone every 8 pages.
Sure.
It's like an old writing saying. And he cuts Kevin's arms and legs off. And then the dog starts eating him. And Elijah Woods just sitting there like, you know, that fucking dummy face, that ventriloquist dummy face. And he goes, he never screamed. He never screamed, even when the dog had his guts ripped out. I go, what is Frank Miller's they never screamed kink? Like, there's something about that is tied with sex that he's, like, into in a weird way that I would love for him to tell me and explore over drinks someday. Frank, hit me up. I would love to talk about this. That's a weird kink.
I don't want to know.
That doesn't happen in 2 movies on accident. That's the thing that he's into, apparently. I just this one is just like, what's not to love about this one?
It's an easy one. That's all there is to it. Like, I don't know how else to describe a lot of Sin City. It's just like, if you really want to boil it down to what it, like, it's an easy one. Like, Marv wants revenge. Dwight wants to bang a lot of women, apparently. And Hartigan wants to keep it in his pants, but the story compels him not to.
Hartigan, let's not worry too much about what he wants to be doing. I forgot in the Marv story.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the other thing. When he has, like, superpowers, like when she hits him with the car 3 times, I was like, again, this is like, why are we breaking the reality of this thing? Right? Yeah. It's like the arrow shot all over again. It was like, that's kind of dumb. It ends, though, when he goes and finds Cardinal Rourke, and it's fucking Rutger Hauer doing his, like, Timu Colonel Kurtz, which I fucking loved, right? Where he's just like, Kevin had a gift from God, an angel's voice, that he only talked to me. And he said when he ate these women, he didn't just eat them, he ate their souls. and the white light of God filled him, and he would talk to me, and you took him out because of some dumb whore. And Marv's like, it's not smart to fucking insult whores in front of me, doc, or, fucking priest, whatever.
You can scream
and
now.
He just does the, and he has, again, it's the fucking awesome noir line. It's like, and when he wakes up in hell, he'll be thankful because he got away from the place I was taking him or whatever, right? And I was like, that's just fucking cool. And then,
there's some metal shit.
I forgot there's another fucking gag. They keep having, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King gags. So not only that, they fucking waste him with guns. They just lay waste to him. He wakes up, he's like, oh, fuck, they brought me back. And he's breaking cops' arms. He has to sign the confessions. They electrocute Marv in the electric chair. And he's like, hey, come on, Doc, I don't got all night.
Is that all you got?
Yeah. Is that all you got, pussies? And he spits blood, and then they fry him again. And I was like, Marv was just the gift that kept on giving. And it made Mickey Rourke, from that, Mickey Rourke was back, right? Then we did The Wrestler. He was the bad guy in Iron Man 2. He was poised.
Yeah.
To have this huge fucking moment, and then I think the more Mickey Rourke was reintroduced to the world, we did not like. But yeah, this was a star maker performance for him. His star had faded; he was gone.
Was this the one that brought him back, or was there another one first?
Can't remember. This was 100% the one that brought him back, and then The Wrestler was oh my God, what an incredible performance. Could have won the Oscar for that movie.
Yeah, it was Once Upon a Time in Mexico, Man on Fire, and then, Sin City was probably his, Sin City got him to the next level.
Because he's, the lead of a section of that movie, and he's fucking great.
Yeah.
And he's iconic, right? And then, I think he had that good run after, and then it went back to not so good. But, to me, this is inarguable. I'm sure there's someone out there who'll say The Yellow Bastard's more iconic, and maybe. Great fucking title. The extra color splash is a little change of pace, but I think this one by far is the fucking coolest. And it's just got all these little things I like, and of course the Sin City things I don't like. And that's the experience of the movie, man. It's just, I think, the way I thought about it, to recapture in summary, my thesis of this movie is smallest dick energy storytelling, told by a filmmaker who encapsulates more of a big dick energy. And it meets into the middle into a pretty nice hog. You know what I mean? A pretty decent dick. Right there in the middle.
I would say, for me, Sin City captures a very specific time in 2005 and in 1991 that we're never going to necessarily need again. But I also think the books harken back to a very specific time period. And if you read them as that, they're a little more entertaining. Otherwise, they are they're just sort of it's a little faded. It's a bad VHS that skips.
Yeah. And one final thing, just praise for Robert Rodriguez for using all of his fucking well-earned skills to put this together the way he did.
It was really cool.
I do think there's no argument for me. This is the best capturing the essence of the source material comic book movie I've ever seen. You are in the pages of that book when you watch this movie, which is really hard to do.
You are living the world.
Alex.
Yeah.
There's probably a couple options here. What's the most messed up moment in Sin City?
I mean, isn't it obviously just that Nancy shouldn't be leaping into Hartigan's arms? There's something about that that's so messed up.
There is. The one good man we saw in Sin City, this cop who's I got to retire, but before I retire and go home to my wife who's got a steak on the stove, I got to tie up one loose end. This guy has an 11-year-old girl, and he's a fucking bad man, and I need to save this girl. And he does. And he's like, an old man dies, a young girl lives. That's good value for the universe. That's a good trade. Yep. And you're like, what the fuck? What a boss, dude. That cop rules.
That's the way a great story
and
ends.
Immediately later in the movie, after he confesses to being crimes he didn't do, Nancy hugs him, and he's like, I thought I'd find a skinny bookworm, but va-voom! It's that's insane. You can't do that.
I'd say that's pretty messed up. I don't know, man. There's so many things. He could have had
the Who Framed Roger Rabbit cartoon eyes and tongue.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I did too, but I'm not also a hero cop
a hero
in the movie.
Cop. So
he's like, I was in solitary for 8 years.
You know what?
And I'm trying to get this thing wet.
Okay, that is the most messed up. It's not messed up. There is an honorable mention for me, though. It's when it's probably the grossest moment, in my opinion, though, which is in The Big Fat Kill when Dwight holds when Dwight holds Jackie Boy's face on the toilet that clearly has turds in it and stuff.
Yeah.
And without
you made one big mistake. You should have flushed.
Like, also, Clive Owen trying to do just like a straight American accent is like my favorite, probably one of my favorite like British actors doing an American accent. He's like, "Hi, my name's Dwight and I'm out of my mind." You're like, what are you doing? What is going on in this movie right now, and why are we sitting through it? And I truly, like, there's a level of joy there that's so entertaining that I just, like, that part, like, I like, holding your face in a toilet with turds is just, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Hartigan.
It's uncouth.
Hartigan, terrible. This, gross. Those are the two messed up moments, I think.
Yeah.
At least for me.
I'm just going to go with when Marv wakes up and his parole officer has been chopped up.
Not great.
And we see that Kevin is capturing women to eat them.
Yeah.
And then there's a wall, like
just
fucking
their heads?
deer trophies, of prostitute heads on the wall of all these women he's eaten to consume their souls and feel the white light of God.
Yeah, that's a good one.
As Cardinal Rourke tells us. There's just something where it's like all of a sudden Sin City has turned into like this weird religious horror movie. And religious horror movies are my kink. Like, I can never get enough of any horror movie that has religion in it. That works for me every fucking time. And Sin City does a really good job. In fact, who plays the fucking priest who's like, all of this for a whore the first time, right? Fucking Frank Miller himself. Yeah, if you want to see the man that I pointed the small dick accusation at in the flesh, he's the fucking confessional priest in this movie.
He gets blown away in the confessional.
Yeah, who also is really interested in whether or not people scream. I want to have a drink with Frank Miller and talk these things through. I'm fascinated now. I think Sin City is a bit of a mini marvel that it exists in the form it does.
Here's the
and
other
it's
thing,
still
too.
highly entertaining. And the score is fucking awesome. The music in this movie rules.
I mean, it's what is it, John Debney, I think? I mean, it's great. Like it is. It's John Debney, Graham Revell, and Robert Rodriguez. Look, the movie's a great time capsule. It's a really fun ride. It's, as long as you don't believe literally anything the people in this movie says, then you're fine.
You think in like 30 years my grandkids will find this and it'll be like when we go back and we're like, our grandparents once showed us a movie called Song of the South. And it's like, Jesus Christ. You know? Like, that'll just be Sin City.
God, I really hope not. But you know what?
It's a fun
the way
movie.
Things go.
It's got
probably.
Comic book gloss. It'll be okay.
It'll be fun.
That's it for Sin City. I guess it was fun to go back. It was wit. It was wit to go back. And then,
we didn't talk about the rain a lot, but it rains the whole
just
time.
Fucking soak.
Yeah.
Oh, it's raining everywhere on these people. Yeah. Incels are soaking themselves to this movie all the time. An interesting rewatch. Please help us get our first movie out of the world, Mr. Cream Jeans' Hidey Hole, by typing Mr. Cream Jeans into Indiegogo, because we've been shadow banned by fucking evil rat bastard mafiosos that won't let us work, bitch. You can get the perk where you can join this very podcast and do a messed up draft with me, Alex, Dandino is Alex, Heath, Sam, Sophia, Josh, whoever you want, we'll make it happen if you help us make our movie happen. Thank you in advance. Go to the Messed Up Movies Podcast Patreon page. That's what we need help supporting this very podcast and all the work we're doing here. Tons of awesome stuff on the Patreon. Always trying to make that better for the supporters over there. Make sure you subscribe to Misfit Parade on YouTube. We really need YouTube subscribers right now. That's what we're pushing. TikTok, Instagram, all the places. We're there too. We'll see you next time.